Chat, here we go. We have Zen versus Nwpo. A matchup that I believe is well-timed. Zen, of course, when they first played Nwpo, was on one of the craziest winning streaks in 1v1 that we've ever seen. In fact, the craziest? Is that even controversial to say? It was one of the most impressive that we could ever possibly see, beating just about everybody in the ones game before finally not being able to take down Rawas. Since then, we've had some few tournaments. A few more people have been able to grab some wins. But Nwpo has not. Nwpo was one of the victims during the long streak that I believe ended at 11 or 12. And that match went heavily in favor of Zen the first time around. Since then, Nwpo has upped his game. And in fact, I should have double-checked. I'm not even sure if Nwpo's lost since then. I think he maybe had one loss to Atto after losing to Zen. And now he's had 5 or 6 matches in a row against some top players that he has been able to win, with the most notable probably being a win against another French player, Moxie. Moxie had been coming off of a very impressive tournament win, and now we'll see if he can do what he couldn't do before against another French 1v1er. Zen going to be the first to score. We just got done watching a Zen highlight video on his YouTube. He slams this one off the crossbar, but I want to go ahead and mention it again now since we've made it into the YouTube portion. This will be uploaded for sure to my YouTube. I recommend checking out Zen's channel. If I remember, I'll make sure to put it in the description as well, because Zen is definitely worth supporting on YouTube. I love to see players, getting into the content game, especially players as enticing, exciting to watch as Zen. So certainly go give him a sub. Right now, I'm actually a bit surprised how low scoring the game has gone so far. Maybe these two just feeling it out. Zen ends up wall dashing just a bit too deep into the play. Maybe got a bit too caught up in making the wall dash work and forgot the goal, which was not to hand the ball over to Nwpo for a free shot. Direct kickoff win for Nwpo. Once upon a time, that was a big issue for Zen, not being able to control the kickoffs. He's watching this one with me. Maybe he also wants to get a read on what he did wrong. He just goes for the straight diagonal, which is a very big risk. If the opposite player can match your speed and get goal side, it's going to be exactly how we just saw time and time again. Zen into a dribble and uses a backflip to get a flick that's just enough to get over the top of Nwpo. He's trying to close the distance. Actually, a really deep dive from Nwpo, but he would have been okay if it weren't for the flick that got the extra bit of speed. Still think it's not, a smart idea for Nwpo to do that much diving. In the future, if you're going to get that close to the play, you have to actually make a real challenge on the ball. Zen's going to get a 50 and a favorable kickoff win. Nwpo off kickoff decided to try and make something work. It didn't even look like he ever reset on boost, because by the time he landed, he had 0. Which means I think he just attacked the play with what he had left over. Definitely a high-risk, aggressive play from Nwpo, something that he's certainly known for. Nwpo passed to himself off the corner. He sees Zen attacking him on the wall and is hoping to punish him for putting himself out of position for a brief moment. Wait, Zen even... What was he doing floating in the air? I think I missed that. I thought he was just on the wall, but he was actually just floating in no man's land. And Nwpo able to rush the ball to the net to beat it. Zen going to try and stay at midfield. No, he will back off. Lets Nwpo have a free possession. Interesting decision from Nwpo. Had a clean bounce. Could have done almost anything he wanted with it. Decides to just put a power shot on net. He wants to play an extended attack against Zen. Zen able to escape fairly easily. Very greedy attempts from Zen here. This was going to have to be an absolutely unbelievable play. Pre-flipping, using a ton of boost, trying to get some insane read off a bounce off the side wall with that much space between him and the ball. I mean, Listen, it would have been another clip for the highlight reel for Zen if he somehow made something like that work, but instead, it's a Nwpo freebie. Nwpo off the ceiling. Zen takes the ball to the ground to counter that high challenge. Zen sends a flick into the top left. Nwpo actually is going to be able to counter this. It was a well-placed shot, and yet still not well enough. Nwpo cleans it up and manages to land on the back wall. That's the key. If Zen can place it well enough to force Nwpo into the nets, then he will not have a recovery that Zen needs to worry about. But as long as Nwpo stays on the back wall, he's going to turn it in for a goal. Faking the wave dash shot, and then into the bump is Zen, threatening so much throughout this dribble. We've seen him. He has a reset to use. That was actually the last time he touched the ball. But often you'll see, either a reset off the ceiling dribble or a wave dash shot to power the ball in. Nwpo's trying to prep for all that. Instead, he just lets it bounce. The last time he had touched it being many moments ago. Nwpo trying to make something work out of the attacking corner, and he does it with ease. How did Zen defend as he tries to get himself back in position? Maybe a bit high. Felt like he had to attack low. Zen, interesting kickoff. Faking as he just sets up in nets. He's going to have to deal with multiple shot attempts from Nwpo, and he's bought himself time to grab boost, but he hasn't ended Nwpo's possession. Good decision to dive there as Nwpo looked to swing around and set up another attack. He left a brief moment where Zen can get away with that wall challenge. Normally it's a very risky one. He recognized what was best for him. He tried a pogo into the crossbar. Prevents the counterattack, but with 45 seconds left to go, Zen needs some offense. He has really no choice but to dive in. Nwpo just handed the ball back. He didn't need to do this. Nwpo probably would have been best to just hold on to the ball, bait Zen in for a really bad challenge, and punish him for it. Instead, did he try and pinch the whole field or something? I don't think it's going to show it because so much time went by from when Nwpo went for his touch. And he just handed it over. Now Zen, a kickoff win, a very favorable one, a power shot. Nwpo can't get back to it. I really want to go back to that pinch decision or whatever it was. I think that's going to be the key in this game if Nwpo ends up not winning it. It just seemed like such a big risk to take. And if you're watching Nwpo for the first time for any reason, you'll find that he does take as many risks as possible. He never seems to change his play style regardless of what the score is. He's looking for the fastest, craziest play at all times. Not sure he can get away with that in a full series against Zen. He's going to set this one off the backboard. Zen has the save. It's like maybe a little bit of frustration camera flipping from Nwpo. There doesn't seem to be any real purpose to doing that. His next shot is also saved. Zen has a lot of boost to work with. Good dive from Nwpo. He was not going to be in good space if he didn't immediately ground that ball. So 6-6 overtime in game number one. It's looking like a great position for Zen. The shot was wide. They're going to give Nwpo a save on it, but I think it would have been off the post and out. Zen now faking high. Nwpo, this is just a well-placed shot. He has Nwpo up on the top right of the nets, and so instead of high dribbling, he keeps it low, makes it as tough as possible for Nwpo to come off the wall and make the right read, and then ends up getting to just slow roll it in. Nwpo kind of outplaying himself a little bit by, pre-reading the play so much and going so high. Zen makes the right adjustments, gets the game win. Game number two, Nwpo into the Octane, the typical Octane. I believe when we saw Nwpo play Moxie, he did a good amount of switching back and forth. And I believe even played a game in the Dominus. We'll see what the Octane can do for him here. Zen going to try and punish Nwpo for coming so deep into his half. Nwpo wants a possession. He doesn't have a ton of boost to work with. So what he's hoping to do is threaten an air dribble and get Zen to back off. But Zen knows there's nothing he could do, so he hangs around. Eventually steals the possession and gets a demo Zen grabbing the boost. Little camera check. He's trying to play it patiently, but he can't do it. Zen knows he has a boost advantage on Nwpo right now, and he sees Nwpo acting like a madman. So normally what you want to do is you want to play that nice and slow, wait until the opposition finally gives you possession, and then you counterattack with a huge advantage and force that defender to stay on 0. So that's what Zen's doing. He's just waiting for Nwpo to finally hand it over, and Nwpo just finds a way. He finds a way through. He's relentless. And the pre-flip shot with 0 boost ends up getting a goal. Zen will he leave this time? Let Nwpo have a bit of space. The midfield boost wasn't there for him, so he's all the way back into the back corner, and Nwpo forces a 50 through. Zen was thinking about getting 100 there and then turning the challenge. You see, as soon as he didn't get it, he retreats all the way back. Just reacting too late. Having to jump and turn back towards the play. Always tough to get the right save. He couldn't get up enough. Stop Nwpo from forcing it over. So a 2-1 lead. Zen to the air. Nwpo, he has not been lacking on pre-jumping and trying to play high. We see him on the back wall. Grabs the 100, goes straight to the back wall for Zen's dribble. But Zen is recognizing that. Just taking it low. A little bit of a panic jump here too. I wonder if we'll see Zen, or sorry, we'll see Zen, or sorry, not Zen, see Nwpo chill out a little bit on the goal line, because we saw earlier him trying to pre-jump the power shot. Zen didn't take it. This time, Zen lets the ball just fall to the ground and roll it in. He certainly knows Zen is capable of it, but there's no doubt that if Zen gets to get away with that all series long, it's going to be very easy for him. Go trying a pretty aggressive reset shot. Just let the ball get too much separation. Ooh, interesting decision to send this to the side wall. Seemed like Nwpo maybe could have used Zen's shot as a pass for a counterattack. He didn't have a ton of boost to work with, so he probably just felt like he wouldn't have been able to power it, but Zen really set him up going the other way. He decides instead to grab boost and play a possession. Nwpo, soft touch, trying to protect the ball. He doesn't want to hand it over, but ultimately can't stay in control of it. Tried to get an air dribble bump, but it all happened too far away from the net. Zen, oh my goodness, getting Nwpo to miss in the midfield with this crazy wave dash. Nwpo decides it's finally time to challenge as he tries to get a read on what Zen is doing, and Zen is just too unpredictable, whether it's in the air or on the ground. Zen wall to air dribble, double resets. Nwpo can't get the save. Zen is absolutely farming right now. Nwpo has not been great on the goal line, but we saw him just try and challenge earlier too on the dribble. He's doing his best to stop Zen's offense, but it seems like the only way to do it now is to not let him get kickoffs, because Zen is converting on almost everything, and it's another kickoff in Zen's favor. Wall to air dribble. Nwpo did not make the mistake this time of overcommitting high. He came down to the ground early, and now he has himself a dribble the other way. Can't get the 50. Zen seemed to be floundering a bit in net, yet still he's able to cover the shot. Nwpo, flick over the top, crossbar down, and then no, he needs to go finish it. He thought it was in, and he flipped away because he figured, why not go grab boost? I just scored, but if he had stuck around, he would have been able to give it that final tap it needed. Zen now off the ceiling, slamming it down, and that gets intercepted. This should be a freebie, and it is. So Nwpo within 2. Zen, like Nwpo, the kind of guy to look to score a clip or two in the process of getting his win, and that certainly would have been a crazy one if he found a way to slam the ball down to the ground and get a ground double that close to the net, but instead it's Nwpo beginning his march back. Has Zen in the goal here, but doesn't have the kind of boost to keep him pinned. Zen's out in front of the ball, trying to chase Nwpo off of it. Zen getting Nwpo to just slam the ball directly at him. It's been so many different times that Nwpo has just been throwing power shots, and I swear when I watch Nwpo as of late, I don't see him launching these kind of, weak takes. It's not necessarily bad. A lot of players will play it that way. They take a first strong power shot, one that's almost definitely going to be saved, but that puts the defender on the back foot, and then they try and pin him back there for an extended amount of time to eventually get a goal. Now, it's something that players do. It's something that Nwpo, I don't feel like, does a lot. Nwpo's usually a beat him with the first take kind of insane offensive style. So hopefully he can find his stride here. Thank you, by the way, to Limper and Zebo for the primes. Zen on the back wall. Not going to have enough boost to go the whole way, but Nwpo, you see so much respect for Zen. I know it seems like he's got nothing left on that dribble as he comes to the ground. Nwpo does not challenge him. He waits until after he lands and takes the eventual weak shot. Nice flick from Zen. Almost got enough height to get over the top of Nwpo. 30 seconds left to go. Nwpo, I like this air dribble bump take. I feel like in his position earlier, he was just ripping power shots and then trying to get follow-ups because he could maybe have forced a tough save out of Zen. Zen wave dashing might have put him slightly out of position, single jumping too close to the play. Now 20 seconds, Nwpo needs to kick off, and I think he has it here. Should have boost. Zen is going to give him all the space in the world, so it's up to Nwpo. Zen off the ceiling. It's actually going to be easy for Nwpo. Zen tried to close the distance in what was a very easy to adjust to way. I mean, that's such a long distance ceiling challenge. Nwpo was playing the dribble really slow. If he had been playing it faster at net, Zen's challenge might have been perfect. With how slow Nwpo was taking it, made the distance way too long to challenge. Zen, though, might have a follow-up here. Flick over the top of Nwpo. He ends up tapping it right to him. In fact, Nwpo, couldn't get the wave dash. You could see trying to get maybe that zap dash landing to catch back up to it, but missed slightly. So it is overtime again, 6-6. I think that was the end of game one with 6-6 as well. That one was Nwpo up and Zen coming back, but now it's the opposite. Nwpo flipped under the ball. This should just be a goal. Zen's long shot. Oh, he's giving himself a what a save. He knows he slipped up here. Oh, I mean, that... I feel like on my screen, it moved a little bit from his touch. He found a way to just matrix right underneath it. Oh, by the way, my screen says that it is... Yeah, there we go. It says that it was a best of 5. It isn't chat. It isn't chat. Sorry, I'm sure you guys were spamming that I had that wrong. It is a best of 7. Luckily, I updated it before Game 3, which would have been much more confusing while we were still playing. Game number 3. 2 games to overtime, but both of them in favor of Zen. And I think what we saw from Nwpo at the end of that last game was actually one of a few signs that I feel like I've seen of Nwpo playing a little bit nervous, maybe. You know, it's impossible to know without asking him, but I think some of the style that he's been picking is almost like a safer, I want to make sure I win this one style. And then that side flip, not something we see him do very often. But as the match slowly shifts towards Zen, there is a world where I think it actually relaxes Nwpo a bit more, you know. Becomes less and less to lose as you get lower in the series. Might be able to find his stride a little bit. He needed that goal. He actually almost hit it soft enough that Zen could get the save. He ended up side flipping it pretty weak. Zen never giving up. Almost made it back. Delayed kickout from Zen. Works beautifully. As he tries to set himself up a pass off the back wall. He misses wide, and this should just be a long shot for a goal. Nwpo into a different octane, but still octane here in game number 3. Nwpo from the ceiling. He's waiting to see if Zen is going to challenge to hold on to that flip, and Zen never does, so he just takes a shot from the ground. Missed wave dash, but it's going to be okay. Still had space, although he probably sets up his dribble a lot better if he doesn't miss that wave dash. It's the little margins, especially if you're playing a guy like Zen. Everything has to go your way. You know, you may think you have a ton of time and you can afford to miss a little wave dash here or there, but every moment is crucial. Zen ends up converting. Nwpo now trying to make something out of this kickoff. Double reset, the 50! Nwpo starting to catch fire a little bit. If he can keep this up, a lot of that comes off the back of kickoff wins, but certainly that one wasn't a freebie. It wasn't the kind of kickoff win you normally see where you just tap it right in, but still a first possession in his favor. And now here's the kind of kickoff wins that he could afford to be having as well. We saw him get one of these earlier. Nwpo won a diagonal kickoff. This time Zen just takes a slight offset one, a bit too slow. Gets on the left side of the ball, and Nwpo much more square. He's going to try and hook right again. He's able to get himself a possession. I think he tried to mix up the pace of that shot, if you ask me. Maybe he was hoping Nwpo would come off the back wall early, but he did not. Zen resets and just takes it to the ground. Right now, he has been able to score almost exclusively off of threatening various shots, understandably, because he is Zen after all. Nwpo finds himself awkwardly right above the net. Zen trying to flick the right side of the nets. Nwpo, no boost to work with. Had it all stolen. Is he going to go all the way to the back corner? No, he decides he doesn't have time for that. So he turns and challenges. Zen loses the ball on the wave dash, and this should just be a tap-in. I think we're seeing the confidence build from Nwpo. Zen was making similar mistakes, I would say, that he is now earlier in the match. But we saw Nwpo playing what felt like afraid, where he would not challenge. He was waiting until the last moment. He felt like if he ever turned, and Zen would just beat him. Now he's recognizing that there are all these moments, nice save, that Zen is giving him to take the ball away. Nwpo can't get this shot. Zen has the save and is looking to try and collect possession. Nwpo needs that back corner to spawn, but I don't know if it would have. Nwpo, did he just get a goal off this? Oh my goodness, wait! Zen had the save and then he doubled it in. Nwpo just took a shot off the corner as Zen didn't want to get up to the ball, decides to back off, and then he tried to clear it, but he just own goaled it. A nasty double. 7-2. This is the biggest lead either one of these two have had. And it's actually the first time... Oh, no, that's not true. Zen scored 7 in the first 2 games. But it's the first time Nwpo has scored 7. So I believe the first 2 were 7-6. Definitely a lot more scoring. Nwpo's going to take this into a wall-to-air dribble. Zen challenges immediately. Probably a good idea, considering how Zen has been warming up. Zen being given space once again, and he's just... You can't do it. I mean, he's too good. He's too good at reading Nwpo on defense. Nwpo needed a boost to work with, so you see him pathing over the pads and then using that last bit to try and pre-jump, but Zen has the patience. If he sees you floundering in net, he'll just slowly walk it around you. Finds a way in for his 3rd goal, but he's going to need quite the pop-off late in the game. He's going to need Nwpo to gift some. Zen all the way from the back wall. Going for the ground. Pogo, low 50. Doesn't really get either, but he gets a demo, and the follow-up shot is crossbar down and in. So he's slowly working his way back. Nwpo with 16 boosts to work with has Zen on the goal line. Forced him into net, so he should be able to get this corner. And Zen just barely makes the save. You see him taking a trip slightly out of net to pick up pads. Almost left that near post open. Nwpo now reset to the ground. Can he fake? Zen still somehow gets a save. Still somehow. Now Nwpo, a double and a goal. I think Zen just couldn't afford to leave like he did. He maybe felt like there's no way he's getting offense back the other way unless he had 100 boost. So right now, he needs more than just to get a save. He needs to get offense as well. You can't just sit in net with 0 boost forever. So he takes a trip to the 100 and he does get punished. He'll win this kickoff though. Anytime Zen has possession for an extended amount of time, Nwpo is not able to, break up the play before the possession starts. Nwpo has not looked good. He's tried early challenging. Zen pops it past him, and he's tried waiting on the goal line. That also doesn't work. So Nwpo either needs a solid kickoff or he needs to just be a menace on the ball. Never really let the play set up. Zen once again gets a bit of space. This time goes underneath Nwpo. Nwpo using his 18 boost to fake a challenge and just wave dash back to net. At this point, maybe because he's trying to buy a little bit of time, he does just need to waste a bit more. Zen's won another kickoff though. Nwpo back to the back corner. Zen is converted on just about 100% of these, and he is just moving Nwpo with all of these threats, and he doesn't ever actually have to use them. Just threaten the flick, and Nwpo's up to try and make the save, but no. It'll just roll down into a low 50. Nwpo knows as soon as he stops jumping on these, Zen will probably just start slotting them, but Zen to the air. He's not going to be able to score in time, so Nwpo will get his first as he slams it to the ground. Another win by just 1, but no overtime, as Nwpo, it's game number 3. Game number 4. Nwpo sticking with the Octane. We saw him in his match against Moxie instantly switch off of it, even after it got him a win. I believe got a win in the Octane, went back to the Fennec right away. Later we saw the Dominus. Nwpo forcing Zen into net. Actually, he's doing more than just that. Getting another kickoff goal. Even if Zen was able to keep it out, he's going to be in a really tough position. Zen into the air on a dribble. Nwpo pre-jumps it. That's a great sign for Nwpo. One of the first times I feel like Zen's been able to really set up a possession, and Nwpo gets a save. And as impressive as this reset shot is, it's sent right at Zen. Credit to him for having the read, but I also think there wasn't a ton of movement by Nwpo. After getting the reset and taking the shot, the ball returns to a trajectory it was basically on before, which makes it fairly easy for defenders to save. You want to get as much misdirection and movement as possible. Nwpo trying as best he can to stay all over the ball. We've talked about how it's probably the best angle for him, but he's not able to get a nice landing here. Gets caught up on the ball. That's the difference between Zen being able to escape out for a shot and not. Nwpo, nice catch. Needed to get up quickly, and he does. Big risk here, too. If he doesn't pop it over the top of Zen, Zen might have a takeaway. But Nwpo's converting on his kickoffs, and he needs to be. Nwpo with the boost, Zen with possession. Deep in the orange half with 0. He's going to be able to get away with it. Nwpo deciding not to take the power shot. Didn't have a great angle for it. Zen in and out of the net, and Nwpo plays it to top left. Bit of a telegraph from Zen as he's forced into a very predictable line as he jumps into the net. Nwpo knows exactly where to go to get it around him. Nwpo needs to be really careful because there's been a lot of times that he has gotten a little bit too interested in finishing off dribbles, finishing off reset plays that are not likely to score. You need to have a good recognition of when your air dribble switches from offense to defense. I think I've talked about it a lot. He's going to be able to eventually get a goal here. But there's moments during air dribbles and during reset plays in the air where you're no longer going to be able to score because something went wrong, and now you're playing defense, and you're really just trying to land and keep possession or prevent an immediate goal. And Nwpo is not one to want to switch to defense very often. You know, he'll get late into a dribble that is likely for failure and still try and find a way to make it work. I think it's one of the things that, if he could clean up, would lead to a little bit of a safer play style. Nwpo's won this kickoff. Zen tried to delay it. It's not going to work. Zen delayed a lot of kickoffs in previous matches. We saw him do it in a previous game in this one, and it worked beautifully. It seems like he was trying to maybe direct the ball to the left side, and he ended up just tapping it right back into Nwpo. Was another kickoff. Kickoffs have been the key. 7-3. Nwpo trying to push this ball left. In fact, I feel like he's won to the left wall a few times. Zen hasn't really done anything about it. And that was certainly not the kickoff for Zen, I don't think. But it is a mix-up. And maybe breaks up the pace the way it was going. So he's got himself his first open field possession in a while. He's just going to hand it right back over. Nwpo now trying to go top left because he knows Zen is very starved on boost. And just handed over the ball. Or at least he cost himself a ton of boost in order to get back to it. And now he hands over the ball. Tried to immediately challenge again. Zen gets a goal. Nwpo gets a little frantic, I would say. And then is trying his best to recover and repair the damage he's done. Zen, a kickoff goal. Off to the left wall from his perspective as opposed to the right wall where he had been losing him. You see, this time he's had enough of Nwpo slamming it to his right. Delay again. Nwpo just chips it over the top of him. 2 minutes and a 2-goal lead. Reset for Nwpo. Tried to go over the top of the early challenge. And even though he didn't, he still has a great ball here. Wanted to catch Zen overcommitting across the net. Zen stays patient. Gets that near post save. Now this is where Zen has been really playing well. He's out of boost now. Once he has possession, Nwpo's had a tough time taking it away, but he succeeded in doing so. High flick. Zen decided to challenge at that moment. And the lead will be extended. Perfect read. Zen losing this kickoff into the blue half, but not really losing the kickoff. He's able to get his own boost. Nwpo stealing his back corner isn't the end of the world, but not the perfect dribble setup. Gets him demoed, and now Nwpo looking top left. What a save from Zen. Does he have the follow-up? Nwpo trying to fake him, but Zen covered most of everything. Eventually, Nwpo gets in. Zen jumping like a madman, attempting to stop what could have been a chip shot. Nwpo just backs it up, and takes the chip. Huge delay again. I wonder if Nwpo is recognizing the delays. Or the way he's approaching, just finding his way around. What a save! That was an insane angle from Nwpo, and yet Zen still somehow finds a way back to clear it out. That was unbelievable. I thought for sure if Zen could somehow find the angle that there was no way it could stopped, but these two have been breaking expectations a lot today. Zen's going to have a freebie. 30 seconds to get 3. Every game so far has ended by 1. Can Zen find a way to bring it back? Nwpo launching this to the corner. He's going to immediately dive on the ball, make sure Zen doesn't get a chance to get a possession with 100, but he is going to back off now. No, yeah, I think that's a good decision. Nwpo immediately turns. Even with 20 seconds left to go, it's so obvious that just attacking the ball has been better for him. Even when he occasionally isn't able to take the possession away, might lead to a free, long, open field net, but just has not had much success at all with these reactionary defensive plays near the net. Delay kickoff again from Zen. They haven't been working like I'm sure he would like to, but to be fair, when he was meeting Nwpo at the kickoff, that wasn't working either. So 9-7. Nwpo's going to tie the series. Best of 7, but only a best of 3 remains. Game number 4. Nwpo has found his stride, and now it's up to Zen to adjust. Can he find a way to handle Nwpo, never giving him a moment to breathe? Nwpo's going to challenge this one early, and he should have this read. The first goal comes off of an immediate challenge on an air dribble. Nwpo sees it coming, and Zen launched it far too high to protect. Earlier, even those weren't really going Nwpo's way. But if there were nerves, they're almost certainly gone now. Zen sends this one to the back wall. He knows that when he gets extended possessions, when he gets ball carries, he converts. So he wants to slow the play down. Nwpo trying to speed it up. He wants everyone to immediately make a play. Zen has recognized that as soon as the game comes to a halt, he scores just about every time. Chat's going to call him cringe for it. But I think he'd much rather be a cringe winner than a based loser. Zen quicker to the ball after this 50 in the corner. You're wrong? I'm wrong? You think he'd rather be based? I don't know. Zen trying to get to that ball carry position again. So challenging. Chaining some dashes to catch back up to this one and hold on to his 32 boost, but Zen's still in a great spot. Nice shot from Zen. He drops it underneath Nwpo. Nwpo thought about the ceiling challenge, decides to turn back down, and Zen just drops it even lower. Zen able to get to another carry. This one off the kickoff. Both him and Nwpo low on boost, but he is just so precise every time he gets the ball. Nwpo in and out of the nets. Wasn't wrong to do so. Might have been able to get a high save, but Zen finds the top left. Kickoff goal for Nwpo. He can't get up to that in time to take an immediate shot, so he'll take it to the opposite wall. Air dribble, Zen off the ceiling. Oh, interesting. Zen was hiding behind the ball that whole time. It looked like Zen was going to immediately attack ball high, and that's why you see Nwpo drop to the ground, but Zen was actually also dropping to the ground behind the ball. So he ends up getting Nwpo to just hand it over to him. Zen having to use a lot of boost to try and make this work. It's a tough position. Nwpo gets to clear across the net and the 100. Actually beats Zen out to the ball here. Now has a chance to score. Zen, really quick read. He's off the wall. Nwpo needs to switch up, but Zen still gets a touch on the ball. And now I'm surprised he actually slammed it into the corner, considering how every single time Zen, even with low boost, when he gets to a ball carry, he converts. I figured Nwpo gave him the space. He was going to just let it once again fall on top of his car, but he decides to play a bit of Nwpo's game, slamming it into the corner, and Nwpo is free jumping over the top of this play before it ever happens. That's just what you get when you're watching a Nwpo game. He just double jumps over the top of a dribble, an air dribble that doesn't exist, or a shot that maybe he was expecting as well, but huge delay on the kickoff this time. Zen actually able to connect on it. Should watch a few more kickoffs from Zen's perspective. He's going the whole distance. He needs another reset. He used it for the bump. Nwpo still gets to save. Nwpo into a wall air dribble of his own. He's going to try and make this quick as Zen recovers, but Zen got more than enough boost. You look to drop it behind Zen. You see Zen backflipping to stop his momentum, just barely get the touch. Has the lead right now, but Nwpo trying to attack. That was an aggressive bump attempt. Doesn't connect, and Zen finishes with the musty. Seems to be his favorite open net finish of choice. Oh, Nwpo wants to go next. He does not want to wait out the 2 minutes 15 seconds. I mean, I think 5 certainly could have been obtained, but Nwpo doesn't want to deal with it. He wants to get 2 straight instead as we head to game number 6. Game number 6. Zen has been able to slow the game down in the past couple minutes. Nwpo making a decision that is not easy for players to make. When to give up on your current game to get into the next one. 6-1 with a couple minutes left to go. Does feel a bit early, but if you see the mental slipping, if you know 2 more minutes of playing in that game is going to make you tilt out of this world, then it could be the right decision to just go next. Zen setting up on the near post wall. Nwpo just rolls it to the opposite side, and Zen can't readjust the net to get the proper save. Zen allowed to fall back down onto the ball. Single touch dribble. It wasn't even really a dribble. He just popped the ball up and then hovered behind it. Not a lot he could do with his first touch. So gets the save and the counter. People watching this replay for whatever reason. Zen has not had a ton of success forcing kickoffs to the right wall. This one goes okay for him though. Nwpo decides not to back off. That was actually insane. He wave dashed into a 360, which I think was a mistake, but then Zen ended up dropping the ball kind of right in front of him, so it looked like a genius move that he did on purpose. Zen does it again. You back off of Zen, and he finds a way to make you look silly. This time, scooting the ball back the right side of the nets. The power slide cuts. It looked like Nwpo maybe did enough, but no. Zen corrals it in. Zen recognized he made a mistake. He thought he had a chance to grab boost. But Nwpo available for this touch. I guess really it was Zen the one who set it up, so Zen just made a mistake. Tapping that ball right to Nwpo. Nwpo found himself in front of the ball. Decides to try and find his way back around it for the shot, as opposed to what you'll see a lot of players do, which is just convert it into a bump. Zen absolutely booms the ball to the ceiling in an attempt to get a double. Who actually has the save. Nwpo trying to chase this ball down because he doesn't want to give Zen space, but he just shot it a little bit too hard. He tapped it out of his reach. Really wanted to catch back up to it so he didn't have to deal with a Zen open field possession, but got himself scored on. Zen, first touch was nowhere near the net, and yet still Nwpo is up to intercept it. What I mean is Zen was aiming, at the sidewall almost. He wasn't even aiming near the back wall with that dribble. Zen, does he get the boost spawn right underneath him? No, he does not. You can see from Nwpo's perspective, it spawns behind him. Zen able to get Nwpo's back corner though. Now Zen to the air. Gotta expect him to go low the way he's been playing these. I almost want to just see Nwpo not entertain a high shot. Make Zen hit a reset, hit something high, because he's just been going low every time. Nwpo's had so much respect for the actual air dribble. Big off win for Zen. Strong touch to the wall to set up this dribble. He sees Nwpo on the ceiling, so he heads to the ground. Nwpo cannot make this save, and it's off of another pre-jump. He pre-jumps the flick again. I guess maybe we haven't been noticing when it's been working for him because he seems to think it's still the best idea. Zen gets a low 50. Able to squeeze it in. Ping plus 50s equals goal. Well, just to be clear, the most famously talented 50-50ers to ever grace the 1v1 game have all been from the Middle East, playing on 90 ping. So if that's true, then that's just even more impressive for the players who've been able to dominate 50s. Zen, though, is getting a bit of separation. GG's! I was wondering, this is a bit early. Oh no. Nwpo was looking good at the start of the game. I mean, Zen says you can come back, and it's true. It's very true. With 2 minutes and 3 goals, not only is it true, I mean, this game isn't even close to over. But Nwpo, who forfeited the previous game as an attempt to hold on to the mental and see if he could get it back in the next couple, he was not ready to go down again. Zen runs away with it late. Gets an early forfeit out of Nwpo just like he did the last time they played. Zen, you have a pogo? It is tradition after somebody wins and they get an early forfeit to try a pogo. Will Zen do it for us, though? I assume Zen has to have a nasty pogo, right? I've seen him do it in competitive games.